so badly, or just the
I just felt
uprising.
like I have zero interest in ever playing Overwatch again. I will play if we play, but I literally have zero interest in ever
You
playing
are
it again.
crazy. I don't understand
Yeah.
this like full 180 with you, where
Well, listen, the first 2 years we played it were fun, okay? When we got together. And then after that, but even then when we played it, we were like just disappointed half the time. We'd either break even or maybe win a game or two. And I don't think I like playing games like that, where it's just like so wildly inconsistent. I've just come to that conclusion. That's why I don't think I'd like Valorant. I feel like I'd be in the exact same boat in that game, where I'd just be bouncing up and down. But you tell me matches last like 45 minutes, and that's just a huge turn off for me on that game.
yeah, I mean, Overwatch matches can go up to like half an hour sometimes. It's not like it's
No,
anything
absolutely. Yeah.
anything new. But I don't play ranked in Valorant. I just play unrated, and I only really
Okay.
play with Jesse and like his group of people. So it's usually like a full squad, so I don't have to deal with random people, which is fantastic because I'm sure it's not. I'm sure it's just as, if not more, toxic than Overwatch is. So
Yeah. I've heard some things.
yeah, I'm all set. I have solo queued a few times just because the season is almost over and I want to finish the battle pass because I'm right near the end of it. And a few times I just mute everybody. I'm like, nope, don't need to hear what anybody's saying. Don't need to see. That's the other thing too that's like different from console games is that the other team can like text chat across teams. So it's like a lot of times that text chat is just nope, don't need to hear it or read any of this. Like just don't need to see it, and you can just mute it very easily. So yeah, there's that. So last night I couldn't sleep at all, which is shocker, nothing new. But I tried to go to bed at a more reasonable hour for me, and I was like, I'm a little too tired to play a game. I'll just like throw something on. So I watched Chef again last night. That movie's phenomenal. Like I see Morgan, I see Todd shaking their head. Yes, Mike, have you not
I
watched
mean,
that
it's in my
movie?
top three favorite.
You got
Oh,
to
you
watch
didn't
that
watch
movie,
that?
Mike. That might end up being a pick of mine, or in the future because that movie is so good. Like
It's in my top three favorite movies of all time, definitely.
it's just a
That Silver
really
Linings Playbook, and yeah,
yeah, it's just a really good like feel good movie. Like
yeah, it's
it's
amazing.
it's
Yeah,
not like a
it really
perfect
is.
movie and or this like I don't know, maybe it is a masterpiece. I have no idea, but
I think it is a perfect movie.
yeah, it's pretty great. And I watched it again last night. There's a few things, lines of dialogue that might be a little kind of whatever at this point, but for the most part, the movie's really still really good. I think it's just a good celebration of like both sides of the plate, the people cooking and the people that dine out. I think it's a really
I
good
think
movie
that
about that.
movie it resonates more probably with us too, working in restaurants as long as we did, and
Yeah,
just
yeah, of course. I think that's part of the appeal to me is that like
yeah,
it's a movie that kind of
we get it.
makes you think
Yeah,
about a lot of that stuff. But I think people
yeah,
that didn't work in restaurants, I think, can also get a lot
absolutely.
from that film. But anyways, welcome everyone to the Pass Controller Podcast, a show where a couple of best friends talk about the latest in video games and nerd culture. Sometimes we have guests, sometimes we talk about Overwatch too much. Either way, we have a new episode for you each and every week. As always, I'm your host, Brenden Groom, and joining me on this lovely, I forgot, is it Saturday? I don't even know what day it is. It's Saturday. This lovely Saturday evening is the anime senpai himself, Mr. Michael Lazier. Mike, how are you doing tonight?
Uh, how can I filibuster this? Uh, I might actually hem and haw for the next 45 minutes.
Yeah, we're gonna
I'm
move
cool with that.
we're gonna move right along then to the Monster Hunter, Todd Gary. Todd, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good, fully vaxxed. Ready to start living my life a little bit more.
Fully vaxxed, ready to relax?
I'm jealous
Yeah,
that you didn't have seemingly really any symptoms from getting this either
no,
shot. That's
it's the
lucky. I feel like
Pfizer,
that. I feel like that's you're in the minority with that.
right? The Pfizer fam.
Apparently,
Amanda didn't even have any reactions to her first shot. Her arm didn't even hurt. My arm doesn't even hurt the second shot, and I heard everyone say their arm was really sore too. So we'll see.
my arm was. I mean, I was just destroyed in general after the first shot. So, hopefully, I'm fingers crossed that next week when I get my second dose, that it's not gonna be as bad as the first one was. The first shot for me was like legitimately felt like I had COVID again, and it was horrible. It was a very rough night. I don't want to relive any of those moments.
Well, you told me that, so that's what I was bracing for on the second shot. I was like, I'm gonna be
Yeah,
chill.
when
I'm gonna
when
be
you said you
active.
had both of the kids like you were supposed to have both. Well, you had both of the kids today. I was like, oof, that's going to be a rough
Yeah, I was
day for you.
nervous. Yeah, right.
So I'm glad that shook out a different way for you. And rounding us out for the first time, joining us all the way over from Prima Games. You may have seen them on multiple PAX panels that we've done together. You may have seen them shouting and touting everything there is about indie games across the internet or Tetris. The one and only Morgan Shaver. Morgan, how are you doing tonight?
I am very good. I came prepared with the shirt.
I love it.
I'm ready. I'm ready to talk. But yeah, thank you for having me on. This is exciting.
Yeah, this is. I feel like this has been a matchup that I've been waiting to do for far too long. We should have had you on much sooner, but I'm really happy that we get to do this now because, I mean, there's a lot of great indies out. There's a lot of great indie news lately, and who better to have on than you? But for those out there who may not listening that may not know who you are or what you do, why don't you let them know a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so currently I'm the editor-in-chief over at Prima Games. For that, I was doing some writing for Indie Obscura, All Gamers, stuff like that, and I am the community manager for Tetris.
Hell yeah.
Got it. Yeah, those things.
Are you still playing Tetris 99 often?
Every night.
I wonder if I've ever got dropped into a match with you and have just been obliterated.
I don't know. Maybe because my son also plays on my account. So
Okay.
the number of hours on the Switch is just insane at this point. Because if I'm not playing, then he's trying to play. So it's
Yeah.
chance.
Is he good at Tetris or is he just messing around?
Yeah, he's not, he thinks the objective is to get all of the pieces to the top the fastest. So he'll just hard drop all of them to get to the top. And he thinks it's funny because I'll try to show him. And I think now at this point it's a joke for him that he knows now, I think, that it's not supposed to do that, but that's just fun.
It's too funny, yeah. What else does he play? Or do you let him play?
Yeah, so he's been really into Mario lately. He's been trying to learn all of the Mario games. He's actually doing really well, but I think that because before he was playing Sonic, so I think maybe that helped him a little bit with the platforming elements. Very good at Sonic. He beat the boss of Green Hill Zone, which I don't know how he did that. He won't let me teach him anything, so he just, I guess, repetition goes through it. Yeah, very impressed. I love just seeing him explore new games and this kind of stuff because it's just totally his thing. That's just what he loves to do, and I don't know. I'm very supportive.
That's great. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I think it's fascinating to me because Todd has two young sons and I have a young nephew, and my nephew is, I think he's 7 now, and he's obsessed with, he'll watch people play games on YouTube and won't necessarily play those games himself, but he'll just watch other people play them. And it's weird that he loves Mario, thankfully, because that's I would be kind of heartbroken if he didn't. But he loves Mario, but he also is really into Five Nights at Freddy's and Minecraft and Fortnite, which, Minecraft and Fortnite I get. The Five Nights at Freddy's thing I don't understand. But does your son have any interest in some of those more broader appeal games that all the kids are playing, like Minecraft or Fortnite?
I have tried to show him Minecraft. I think he's still kind of getting used to things. He's 3 right now.
Oh, so that's super young.
He's very good with video games. And so it's kind of been almost like a tool for therapy that we've been using for him because he is nonverbal. But he will we're teaching him sign language. So he'll do that for that. Or he's also in occupational therapy. And so the motor skills, it's been really helpful.
Oh, that's great.
And so we're just kind of using his love for that already to kind of mix it in with that. But he very picky. He'll pick a couple things and he'll just obsessively play through those things until he masters it, and then he'll move on to something else. So he's not really super into Minecraft. I think it's maybe a little bit too much for him at this point.
I mean, it's too much for me at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what happened with me. I mean, I lost my son's house 3 times in that game. We had to make 3 different houses, and then I had to bring Brenden into the game to find where our house was. You know?
Yeah, we were walking around for a long time looking for where that was.
Yeah. He does watch other people play some games on YouTube. He likes watching people play driving games like Forza. He just likes to just watch people drive through. I think maybe that's like relaxing to him, so that's kind of what he'll watch. But for the most part, yeah, he'll just kind of like get into like 1 or 2 games. For a long time, he was doing Animal Crossing on my island and destroying everything. You know, like getting a shovel and just there's like a million holes all across my island, or getting an axe and then all of my trees are gone, which is fine. I think it's adorable. It's totally like if he wants to go run around and play through that, that is great. But yeah, yeah.
I gave my son my 3DS because I'm like, you're not touching my Switch one at all.
Yeah.
That's
I need
fantastic.
to get him into indies. I try to get him into Cozy Grove, and he got into it a little bit, but I think it's like another one of those like I have to teach him, or he needs to like learn it because he like tries to think it's the same as Animal Crossing a little bit with the same buttons, and it's a little different. Like the fishing, you need to use the trigger instead of just pushing the button. So it's like that kind of stuff. But yeah, he has checked that out, and he likes it. I think he just doesn't know what to do, like the objectives. So
I can't wait for him to get to that rebellious age where he decides that he's gonna not play any indies simply because of how many indies you play. That's gonna be like a good time.
Like, Mom, I hate Tetris. I'll be like,
Todd's son Liam, he's obsessed with like bosses. Like he's obsessed with games that have big bosses.
Yeah, he's like obsessed with watching me play Monster Hunter right now. He just wants to watch that nonstop. But he just wants to fight Bowser over and over again. That's all he cares about in the Mario games. All he wants, or the Broodlings or whatever they're called. That's all he wants to do is watch that stuff or play it.
Yeah. Have you let him try Cuphead? I know he's been asking to play Cuphead.
No, I probably should, but I think that would be a disaster. But you know, I mean, he can go nuts on it. But I'm sure he gets very frustrated when he can't beat it, and then he asks me to do it. And like, I can't do it on Cuphead, so it's gonna be like, there's no way, you know.
Well, that was like pre-pandemic. My nephew, last time he was over, he kept begging to play Cuphead, and I'm like, first of all, I don't know how you know what this game is, and second of all, no, because it's just going to be me beating the game, and I don't want to have to do that right now. I was like, let's just play Mario. It's no, I don't want to play Mario. I want to play Cuphead. I'm like, I'm telling you, it looks good, it looks cool, it looks cute, but I really don't want to play this game. I promise you. It was not a fun time. I'll tell you that. I will not play Cuphead with him again until he's older. Because no, just no. But anyways, before we get into tonight's topics, a few housekeeping things. This episode of the Pass Controller Podcast is sponsored by our good friends at Goodnight Fatty. If you're in the Salem, Massachusetts area or the North Shore of Massachusetts and you want something fresh, something tasty, something hot out of the oven, you can head on down to 1 Washington Square and get yourself a delicious fatty. And if you're unaware of what a fatty is, you can check them out on social media at Goodnight Fatty and educate yourself on these tasty treats. The PTC Movie Club for April is almost over because the month is almost over. So if you want to listen to us talk about The Big Sick, we will be talking about that next week on the last episode of the month. So definitely it's on Amazon Prime right now. If you have that and want to stream it, or if you want to pick it up or rent it somewhere, check out The Big Sick, and we'll be talking about that on the next episode. And the last bit of housekeeping is I just put up my written review for Contractors VR. So if you have any interest in that VR shooter, definitely go check out my review over at passthecontroller.io. But that will bring us right into tonight's main topics. Well, I guess we'll kick things off with what have we been playing. And I don't know, Mike, if you've been playing anything different or kind of just the same old stuff.
Same old stuff.
Same old stuff.
At all.
Have you downloaded any new Beat Saber songs?
No, I don't think I did. And I think I went to the site and it changed and it confused me. I was like, I don't know what's going on anymore. So I'll have to revisit that at some point.
I still haven't even attempted to put custom songs.
Oh, I know.
Because I'm a scared person.
I don't see you doing that in the near future.
But I've been like digging in really deep into the BTS music pack on there, and I'm getting really, really fucking good at some of those songs, Mike. Like, I'm coming for your scores.
I don't remember what my scores are anymore.
They're the highest of anyone on my friends list. You're always the highest. So there's like two songs that I am higher than you on, not BTS, other songs. But
are they all expert or expert plus?
I don't play expert plus. I do expert, but I turn the speed up.
Yep,
If I turn the speed to normal, I could probably do expert plus, but I'd rather the speed be faster.
Yeah. Okay. At some point, I do have to update Beat Saber. And when I do, for maybe like a brief period of time, I will look at those songs again.
They're good. The beat maps are fun. What about you, Todd? Have you been playing anything different?
Just continuing with Monster Hunter. I sent you my pictures yesterday. Like how much time I've already dumped into that game.
It's crazy.
And then I started The Longing today. It was on the last Nindy Direct.
The Indie World Direct.
Where it plays out in real time. It's 400 days. Your king or guy, your god, wants you to just wait for 400 days, basically. So today was like the first day I started playing it because I meant to get it a while ago, but Monster Hunter Rise just took over my life. But it seems really cool so far, so I'm excited to just put a little like 15, 20 minutes into the day and see how the game plays out.
What do you do when you play? Like, what is the task other than waiting?
The first thing I did was I sat down and read a book. And yeah, it's like you can pick what book you want to read. I saw some people talking about it, and they were saying like you have to cross this water, but you have to wait for a couple days for things to change in the underground, and it's cool, man. It seems like there's a lot to it. It's more you control the guy, but it's almost point and click in some ways. Okay. But I'm totally down with it. The art style is really cool. The whole concept of the game seems really cool. Yeah, I'm excited to see how it unravels a little bit.
Is it the only option to play it in real time? Like you have to actually wait 400 days?
I don't believe so. I think there's ways of seeing where it goes without that. I doubt I will do that, but I mean, who knows? We'll see what happens.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely different.
What about you, Morgan? What have you been playing?
A little bit of everything. So always Tetris. I become also addicted to Fortnite. I don't know how that happened, but happened.
I hear that. When you are for Tetris, for you, is it always Tetris 99, or do you play around in other Tetris games?
Sometimes I'll go back and forth with there's Tetris Effect, which I have on Xbox, and I really enjoy. I checked out the multiplayer mode recently, and that was kind of cool. And then those different modes, like the purified mode where you're just clearing the purple blocks or whatever. I just find that really relaxing. So sometimes I'll do that. And then Puyo Puyo Tetris 2 I have, and I'm kind of working through the story still. It's I'm not very good at Puyo Puyo.
I'm not either, yeah.
That's the struggle. But yeah, it's mostly Tetris 99. If I'm just going to play a game or two, just to get it out of the way. I like it as almost practice because I really want to be good at the game. And I feel I'll see clips when I'm doing social media for Tetris of other people. You remember Big Cheese.
Of course, yeah.
Tetris, yeah. His clips are just amazing. And I'm just I need to get that good.
See, those clips discouraged me from playing Tetris 99. I'm I will never be that good. Because I love the game, but I'm just I watched some highlights from people who are really good at the game. And I'm how do you do that?
Yeah,
my brain doesn't work
practice.
like that.
I'm at practice. I'm at my plateau of Tetris. I think I'm good but not great. But I love Tetris, and Tetris Effect is such a perfect game. The music is so good. Just being in that game, the environment in there is just very different for Tetris, and I love it.
Yeah, it's a beautiful game. Love that game.
It's fantastic.
Besides Tetris, the beta for Chivalry 2, very much looking forward to release of that game. Huge Chivalry fan. And indies, I've been playing just a bunch of indies, the ones that I can play that are out right now. I've done some interviews with some people, Dark Side Detective, those kind of games, but everything. I'm just bouncing between everything.
Yeah, just a cavalcade of games. For me right now, I've been kind of in a weird spot. I've been going back to a game called Wilmot's Warehouse, which is on Xbox Game Pass right now, and it's just a very relaxing game to me. I've been playing that almost every night the last 2 weeks. It's just a very I don't know if you're familiar with this game, Morgan.
It sounds familiar. I don't think I've played it yet, and so I'm gonna add that to my list because I want to check it out.
I'm trying to think.
It's
I don't know if it's an
it's really
Annapurna
good.
game. It's really good. Yeah, it might be on Xbox Game Pass on PC as well. I'm not sure if it is, but I know it's on console Game Pass. But it's basically, very very, low I don't even know what I'm saying right now. It's just very like minimalistic in its graphic design. Like it's like little squares. You're just a little square. Fingy, Jesse in the chat said he thinks it's Fingy. He might be right. But it's very relaxing, but also chaotic at the same time, which I kind of get like calming vibes from stuff like that. Like Tetris 99 is not a calm game, but I can play that game at night and relax. So like Wilmot's Warehouse is not the same, but it has like a little bit of pressure in certain sections. Basically, you have a warehouse, you get a delivery, you have to put everything away, but you're on a timer to put everything away how you want it, and there's no like rhyme or reason. You can kind of just put things and group things together however you want, and then you'll have 4 different customers come in to buy stuff, and you need to deliver to them what they want in a certain amount of time. And it's basically wherever you're organizing things. So it's like a whole game about organization, and it's like a really good way for me to kind of just, I don't know. There's probably some like meta thing there with me and what I'm doing in this game and how it's like decompressing my mind or something, or the things that live within my head. Who knows? But it's very very relaxing. I've been enjoying that lately. And then I've been playing a game on Oculus Quest called Swarm, which is a new VR game. I think it is exclusive to Oculus. I'm not sure if it's on Steam or PC VR headsets, but it's basically this game where you have grapple hooks in both hands and guns in both hands, and you're swinging around just trying to shoot these like alien invaders, like just a bunch of moving targets. And the locomotion in the game, you are flying around and like going up and down and like zipping around so fast at points, but it's one of the smoothest VR experiences where I at no point feel nauseous or like feel disorienting, even though I'm like flipping around and physically moving, like spinning around a lot. So I'm really enjoying that. I'm like halfway through that game. I'm not trying to marathon that and play that in big chunks, because I think then maybe things might get a little dicey. But I've been enjoying that a lot. I think it's a great VR experience. It's really cool. And then I've been working my way through Emily is Away 3, which I don't know if you've played any of those games, Morgan.
I have played them. They are amazing.
Have you played 3 yet or no?
Oh, I need to.
It's so far really good. I think I'm still a little partial to 1 and 2, only because I think I have, I guess, just more nostalgia for AIM than I do for Facebook. Because the 3rd game takes place on Facebook, or as Kyle Seeley named it, Face Nook. But so far it's really good. It's kind of hits the same notes that Emily is Away 1 and 2 does. It definitely transports you to that time, which I enjoy a lot. And I don't want to go too much into it, but I feel like Emily is Away 1 and 2, there were moments where it's like I feel like I've been in maybe these types of conversations before, or been in these feelings before, and I feel like 3 is also kind of hitting some of those notes for me. So I've been enjoying it so far. I've been not trying to rush through it because I want to kind of soak it all in as it's going, because I'm assuming it's not that long of a game, so I kind of want to eat it up while I'm sitting there. But that's kind of what I have. Oh, and What the Dub, which is another indie game that is made by the same Wide Right Studios, which is the same company that did a game called Freedom Finger, which was like a shoot 'em up that you played as a spaceship that was a middle finger. It was kind of funny. It had like a crazy story. It had like a hand drawn art style. It was really fun. I enjoyed that game a lot. But What the Dub is like completely different from their previous game, which is like a more Jackbox style party game where they'll play clips of old movies or TV shows or whatever, and all the people playing will have to like dub in a part of the conversation with text that they write. And I know I played a few rounds with Mike and Jesse and Jen, and there was some shenanigans. There was some fun stuff. Mike went around, because you can add sound effects too. Mike went around by just playing a fart sound effect, because that caught us all off guard and it was pretty funny. So it's interesting. It's very cheap. I think it's only like $8. But if you're a fan of like Jackbox style games, I think this is
Isn't it on Game Pass?
I don't know if it's on Game Pass. It could be. I'm not sure, but it's pretty great. I think it's available on everything. I think it's on all the consoles as well as Steam, and I'm sure. I don't know. Maybe not Stadia. I don't know what goes on Stadia. I couldn't tell you. Mike, when's the last time you turned on Stadia, Mike?
Whenever I bought Cyberpunk.
Wait, you bought Cyberpunk on Stadia?
Yes.
If you told me that before, I don't remember that. Have you played it on Stadia?
Remember I talked him into it on the
Yeah,
episode?
remember Todd talked me into it, and then I got as far as I did not get very far. I made my character, and then I think you're supposed to steal a car. I don't think I ever stole the car, but I think I was on my way to wherever the car
like
was
5
located.
minutes into the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike has barely played the game. Got it. Sounds about right. Sounds par for the course for you. Cool. So one of the things, Morgan, that we always ask our guests when they're on here for the first time, which is just silly, unrelated to everything, but it kind of has just become a thing that we always do, is do you have a favorite fast food restaurant or chain? And it's totally fine if you don't, or you don't eat fast food, or you don't care. That's also fine. But this is just a dumb thing that we always ask our guests for some reason.
I do. I have garbage taste in food, so my favorite is like I go to Burger King a lot, and I have a lot of people don't like Burger King.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is. Just my kind of garbage. I don't know. And then Domino's. A lot of people don't like Domino's either, and that's also my kind of garbage.
Domino's does get a lot of hate for some reason.
Yeah, they both get a lot of
Yeah.
hate, but Domino's definitely does. I also am going to steal the "that's my kind of garbage" line, because that is like an amazing tagline to apply to anything. If you were gonna roll up to a Burger King, what would be your go-to order?
I usually I'm gonna go eat fast food. I do eat a lot of it, unfortunately. So I'll do like the double Whopper and then just large everything. I actually like their fries too, which is weird because people also don't like their fries, but I like that they're not super salty. Like I like McDonald's fries and stuff like that, but sometimes it's hard to eat a lot of them because they're just really salty.
Mm-hmm.
So the Burger King ones are kind of, I don't know, maybe I just like because they're plain.
I miss the old Burger King fries that were like had the crispy coating on them a little bit, but it's funny because we were talking about this the other day and we were all like, no, Burger King sucks, and I never eat fast food, and I was just running around. It was like 5 o'clock and I still hadn't even eaten anything yet, and I stopped at a Burger King, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna get a burger. I actually thought the burger was pretty good for a fast food burger. I was actually surprised. I was like, I thought I hated Burger King, so.
I think I'm the only one out of the four of us that doesn't like Burger King. I think Mike likes Burger King.
Yeah.
There was a point in time where I, like back in high school, where I would have probably put Burger King maybe as my top, simply because when they used to have the spicy tender crisp sandwich, that was like, in my opinion, the best fast food chicken sandwich. Like better than Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich, which I guess is probably my favorite spicy chicken sandwich from a fast food place now. But when that spicy chicken tender crisp was there, oh, so good. We used to game the system too, because we used to go to the Burger King in the mall, and we would basically just order a bunch of whatever their like cheaper chicken sandwiches and ask for a bunch of the spicy sauce on the side pack, like the little like packets or whatever. And eventually they stopped giving them to us because we would go there far too often and just be like,
I think they just stopped giving them out
in general.
altogether.
Yeah.
In general, they were just gone because we used to have them. And
We used to store them.
We used to store them because we would get the dollar McChickens from McDonald's. and
Oh,
then
that's
just
what
put
we
the
did.
sauce
Okay.
On the McChickens.
So-
So that was what we were doing. But at some point, they stopped giving out the sauce. Like, I don't know if they discontinued it or what. I never bothered revisiting it. It's something to look into at this point. Just be like, hey, do you guys do like spicy sauce anymore in packets?
Jesse's in the chat right now, and he just said, one time I went to a Burger King, and the person at the drive-thru told me they ran out of food. I have never had that happen to me at a fast food place. I would be shocked if that happened at fast food.
Right.
I mean, you go to McDonald's late at night, and you want like a shake or a McFlurry, and you can never get one. Like that I've experienced literally any time. What was the thing that we did, Mike? Was it 2 years ago during the charity stream? Didn't we order like Chick-fil-A or some other fast food?
We ordered
and they
food from
didn't come for like 2 hours, and then we never got the food.
I forget if we never got the food. Basically, we had ordered food, or I had ordered food from my phone on the app, and then I watched a guy like go and never pick it up, and then I watched the second guy go there, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm here, but the food is not here anymore. Someone already took the food and left with it. So, call Uber or Grubhub, whatever I used, and let them know what happened, and I'll just
I think
hang
it was
around
DoorDash, because I've never used DoorDash since then. I think ever since that day, I'm like, well, I will never use DoorDash again.
So then I had to go to them, and then I think we ordered food from a different place. But then maybe I forget if we ever got the Chick-fil-A. I don't think we did. I got reimbursed.
We waited a long time to order something else because we were like, maybe it's going to show up, and it never did. That was a rough time waiting for that food to show up. I think we ended up getting Five Guys after. I think that's what happened.
Yeah, that was it wasn't pleasant. We were too hungry.
It was not. It was very hungry, boy. That was not a good time. I'm gonna have to go through. I feel like Morgan might be the first person to say Burger King as a guest. I'd have to go through. I feel like I would remember having a Burger King discussion with a guest if that ever got brought up. Most of the time, I feel like people mention like stuff that's more regional, that we don't have access to. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think. I think Burger King. I think you're the first Burger King stan, so you get to wear that BK crown proudly.
Yeah.
I haven't had Burger King in a while. Maybe I'll cheat and have some fast food soon, and I'll get some Burger King.
I feel like you say that every once in a while, and every single time you come back to me like, Mike, this fucking shit was garbage, man. I hate.
Well, the last time that I got fast food, I got McDonald's, and I did it simply because I just wanted the Pokemon cards. I wanted to get some Pokemon cards, and it's like, sure, chicken nuggets, whatever. I don't care, because you have to get a Happy Meal to get them. Oh, you're right, Mike. I did order McDonald's to try their spicy chicken nuggets when those first came out, and I was very disappointed by those. I thought they were very, very disappointing.
Yeah, they weren't great. I didn't care for those.
Which is a shame. Did Wendy's ever bring back their spicy chicken tenders?
Spicy chicken tenders?
Didn't they have spicy chicken tenders for a limited time? I don't know. I'm so out of the fast food game now, Mike. I feel like at this point we have to update the question, because it's just I don't eat fast food anymore because I'm, Mr. Healthy now, which is stupid. What an idiot, right? Anyways, I still eat garbage food. I literally just ate a burrito 10 minutes before we started recording. So, there's that. But since we have Morgan here, who's definitely someone who plays way more indies than I do, do you have, or I guess, what are your favorite indies of the year so far? Since we're getting sort of towards the midway point of the year, and I just by seeing what you have written up for Prima Games and just talking about on Twitter and whatnot, I know you've played a lot of games that I haven't yet. So for the stuff that you've played, what has been kind of your favorite so far for the year?
Yeah, I guess my favorite of all of them has been Before Your Eyes. I think
I'm so jealous. I want to play it.
It's so good. It's really worth the play. I think it's right now it's my game of the year. It's my top spot.
It's only PC, correct?
It's PC.
Yeah.
I think in the interview I did with them, they were thinking about mobile, the tablet with webcam would work.
Yeah.
But they haven't had they're not going for it yet, as far as I know. But that would be cool. But yeah, right now it's PC.
Oh, the game requires a camera?
Is it?
It doesn't require it, but it's the best way to play the game. Because you control it with your blinking. You can do it with just a mouse and just click, but it kind of removes you from that experience of trying to stay into a scene and then blinking and going, oh god.
Interesting. So
that'd be a good VR game. I feel like that'd be perfect for the Quest or something.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know much about this game, so kind of enlighten me at least. Todd seems to know about it. I didn't know Todd was apparently a big Before Your Eyes.
For your eyes, yeah. Um, so it's a pretty short game. You can play it through in a single sitting, and I would definitely recommend playing it just start to finish.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a narrative game. You play, so it's like you're in the afterlife, and you get fished out of the water by this wolf guy, and he wants to like submit you like as a soul to like this gatekeeper, and if the gatekeeper likes, the story that you tell or whatever, they'll let you in, and if they don't like it, I guess it's implied that you'll become a seagull. It's very interesting, the world, this afterworld or afterlife. But you start going through your life, like, like life flashing before your eyes. You start like, from being a baby to, growing up, and you tell the story, and then you get about halfway, and then there's like a twist, which I don't want to spoil anything, but there's a twist that comes halfway where, how do I not spoil it? Basically, he doesn't believe some of the things that you're saying, and then so you go back in, and it kind of expands from there. And this game will make you cry. That is my disclaimer. You're gonna, yeah, it's emotional.
I mean, that's like a bonus points for me. Like I like when games make me feel something. That's like what I strive for in those types of experiences. So that's maybe when I finish Emily's Way 3, maybe this is the next thing that I dive into, because I definitely need something else. Because I'm kind of there are a lot of indie games that I'm excited for this year and looking forward to, and there's a lot of stuff that we know about that we don't know if it's coming out this year or not. But for me, like, I don't really know what I have next on the menu, just because some of the things that I'm really excited for, like She Dreams Elsewhere, I'm wearing a She Dreams Elsewhere shirt right now. That the last I looked doesn't have a release date. I think I've heard rumblings of maybe the summertime, but I don't think it has an official release date just yet. But that's probably like one of the things I'm most looking forward to. 12 Minutes is another big one that I'm really excited about. But I still think that also doesn't have an official release date, but it's supposed to be this year.
Yeah, it's been very quiet on that. We saw like that little preview, and then we heard about the cast, and I haven't seen anything from that since then.
Yeah, I think it might have shown up somewhere else recently, but I still think it just was kind of like it's coming soon, not like it's coming in the fall or coming in during this window or whatever like that. What other indie games are you excited about this year, Morgan?
I know that it's hard because like some of the indies that were indies are a little bit bigger now, like Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach.
Mm-hmm.
In my mind, I think of it as indie, but I feel like it's it's expanded out so much that it's like less indie. It's like coming to PS5, like next gen consoles and stuff, which is cool. I'm very excited for that. It looks cool, but there were a couple others that I had written down that I'm pretty sure are coming this year. There's one called Eldest Souls. That one looks pretty cool.
That looks really good, yeah.
Yeah. There's another one called The Longest Road on Earth. I like the art style of it. I'm very intrigued by it. Oh, there's another one I wanted to mention. It's just the indies that have come out. Mundawn. I don't know if that's the right way to pronounce it, but that one has such a unique art style. That's another game I'd recommend. It's like a horror game that came out.
I'm such a baby though. Like, how horror is it? Like, is it? Yeah.
It's more horror along the lines of there was a feature that a freelancer submitted to Prima that I thought covered really well about art house horror. So kind of along the lines of almost like Midsommar. It's not like.
I'm so glad that was your example, because I've been trying to get him to watch that movie forever.
I'm not gonna. I'm too scared.
It's like there's no jump scare horror, anything like that. It's more psychological, or like the scene kind of expanding, and just it's good. It's definitely not as scary as the other one. Oh my god, my mind blanked.
Hereditary?
From the same director.
Hereditary?
Yes, Hereditary. That one scared me.
That
one did scare me.
I hated that movie. I did not like that movie at all.
That was my first pick for our movie, for the movie club thing, and I wanted to make Brenden watch it because I know he doesn't like scary movies, and because that's like a top tier movie for me. I absolutely love that movie, and I just wanted him to watch it, and he hated it.
It was terrible. It was like I had that movie on one monitor, and then I was doing other stuff on the other monitor, so I'd go back and forth because I was like, I don't want to fully pay attention. Like, I was like I had the audio on the whole time, but like I don't want to fully look at all these scenes. Like I don't need to see some of this stuff. Like I just don't need to see it. Yeah, no, I don't know. Horror, I can't do it. Like I played the medium at the beginning of the year, and like I like the game overall, but like there are certain parts of that even that I was just like, nope, don't want to be chased by this giant thing. I'm all set. Like
I was gonna say the chase scene. Yeah, that first chase scene where he starts coming after you.
yes,
That was good.
and
Yeah.
I died so many times because there was like one point where you had to like go a certain route, and I feel like I kept running into the wall or something. Like I kept like dying at that point, so I was like, I have to keep being chased by this thing. I just want this part to be over.
Yeah, that was a tricky part for sure. I remember when I was writing some of the walkthroughs for that game, that was definitely one where I wanted to make sure I like covered it like this way, this way, this way.
Yeah,
Because I got stuck on it as well, and I was like, oh my god.
I think part of the issue was like the way the camera angle changed at that point made it like kind of difficult to hit that specific. I think it was left. But yeah, that I don't miss that part of the game at all.
Yes. Yeah, sure. I liked the medium though. I thought that the game was very good. It's like a love or hate it game because I've heard both. I've heard people say, "Oh, I really, really loved it," and then on the flip side, I've heard people say, "Oh, I really hated it." So, it's interesting.
I feel like if you like Silent Hill, you probably love that game. You know.
I think it does a lot of really cool things. It like for me, if it wasn't like a more horror themed game, I probably would have enjoyed it more. I like my displeasure with the game is like not because of the game, because of the theme, which I personally don't enjoy because I'm a big baby boy. Like I'm like flirting with the idea of like, do I want to get Resident Evil Village? Like, do I want to play this game? But like when they released that video of, I don't know how to say Lady I don't know how to say her name, Demistress, I have no idea. Like of her chasing Ethan, I'm like, nope, that's nightmare fuel. Like I'm all set. Like that will absolutely make me not be able to sleep for a week. Like I'm all set. I don't need that pressure in my life. I just don't need it. I think that's what it might mostly be for me. Like I'm not like a big gory fan, but it's more so just like the uncomfortable tension. Like that's what I don't want. Like that's why I didn't like Hereditary, because it was like this movie's just trying to make me feel uncomfortable, and I don't want to feel uncomfortable. Yeah, anyways, I have a lot of problems. Are there any other indies that are on the horizon that you're looking forward to? We kind of went off track because you brought up that M game, Mundane, or however you
Mundane. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot. I have a lot on my Steam wish list. I always make sure like I wish list things, but when I was going through them earlier, because I have an article on Prima of like games to add to your wish list, I'm like looking through them. A lot of them don't have a release date.
Okay.
So I would say that all of those games on that list are ones I'm looking forward to, but it's hard to say because like I don't know when they're going to be out. Yeah, like the ones that I was for sure of were like Five Nights at Freddy's, Eldest Souls, Longest Road on Earth. Luna's Fishing Garden looks really cute. I like that. And then there's another one called When the Night Comes. Also into that.
Okay. But I'll have to check out that list and see. So have you played all the Five Nights at Freddy's games? You're a fan of this series?
Yeah.
Okay. Love
horror.
Yeah. Knowing what you know now about my particular taste, do you think that game is too scary for me? Because Todd really wants me to play it, but I'm like, I don't know if I can.
I think it might be too much for him. I do think it might be too much for him.
Yeah.
Because of like the audio cues that come out when they're on the side, or like when they pop out on the sides, or even when if they get you, it's like that little flash jump scare. But that game crept up on me. I really, really enjoyed my time with that game, and I was not expecting. I was like, I'm just gonna try this out, see if I like it, and I ended up just playing through it. I loved it.
Yeah, because they're all on Game Pass now, which is great. Like if you never played Five Nights at Freddy's and you have an interest, you have Game Pass. I don't know if they're on PC Game Pass, but I know they're on console Game Pass. Yeah, I don't know. I downloaded the first game, and it's just sitting there, and I'm like, do I do this? Do I have to wait for it to be like a very bright day out and play it like in the morning with a cup of coffee?
I don't think that matters. I think the problem is you don't move. So I think that that might be where you have an issue, because you can't just like run or something. You just if you get caught, you get caught.
Yeah. See, but that
And the
also,
tension.
yeah,
Like you don't like the tension. That one is definitely a tense game because you're managing your resources, so you're flipping between like looking at the camera to checking like left and right and managing all your resources. So that plus the risk of the jump scare where they just come at your face, that might be a lot. Like the
okay.
first time I played it, it did get me at first, and then slowly as you played, I
Mm.
think you like build up a tolerance and you kind of get used to it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But that first jump scare, I think, will definitely be like, will
Okay.
get you.
I do have a charity stream coming up soonish. Maybe I'll make one of the higher tier, like if we get to this number, I'll switch to like playing Five Nights at Freddy's. We'll see. Maybe I'll put that as like a higher end tier to really punish myself if people donate. Oof, yeah, I'm not I don't know why I just said that on the podcast because I don't want anyone to hold me to that.
Now you have to do it. I'm gonna be saying that the whole time now.
A few other games that are coming out, or I think supposed to be coming out this year, or at least have at some point been said coming in 2021. That are kind of on my radar that I'm excited about. A Space for the Unbound, which I first discovered that game during your IO Direct that you did. Um, that game,
That makes me so happy to hear. I'm so glad because all those games that I showed, I love. Can't believe. Oh my goodness, I need to go through my Steam list because there's like over 100 games on there. I swear to God. But
I
yes,
believe
that
it.
game.
Yeah, that game looks really good. Like it looks gorgeous. The idea and concept behind it is great to me. So that's something kind of low key on my radar. There was another game from the IO Direct that came out recently when the past was around. That has been something I need to check out. That's on my I think it's on Switch. I think it's on my Switch wish list right now. I think I need to get into that soon because that looks really good to me. I was a big fan of that as well. But 12 minutes we brought up. Obviously, I think most people are excited about that. It's more of a higher profile indie game. I don't know if this has a date for this year, but I want to shamelessly plug it right now anyway because I really enjoyed it when I played the demo of it last year. Unpacking. I don't know if you had the chance to play this game or if you're familiar with this game.
I am familiar with this game. Yes, I am looking forward to this. I like the idea of just this cute game where you just put things away. It's
Hmm.
very much the way that I relax. I think that's kind of why I like Tetris too, because you're like organizing things.
Hmm.
But yes, I'm very much that one is on my
Yeah.
radar. I don't know if it's coming out this year. I feel like it might be because I in the Slack chat for work, um, Brandy from Super Parent had mentioned that game.
Okay.
So I need to look into that
Yeah,
because yeah.
that is definitely something to keep on your radar because I really enjoyed what I played during PAX Online last year. It's just super relaxing. Like it has it. I was surprised at how well that game kind of told its story with zero dialogue, just because you're like basic premise is you're playing as this character that you never see or never hear or never speaks in any way or any dialogue windows, but you're moving through their life by unpacking their belongings in their next place that they live in, and it's just the stuff that they bring with them between places throughout their life and whatnot and stuff they leave behind. It's just, I don't know, I really enjoyed that game. I feel like that's a game that could, with zero dialogue, make me cry somehow at the end of it. So I'm really looking forward to that whenever it comes out. Stray, which I feel like probably isn't going to come out this year, but I think it still has a 2021 tag on it. But that I don't need to know anything else about that game. It's just future with robot humans and cats, and sure, I want to play as a cat. So very much sign me up for that game. A game that was like not on my radar until recently. I think they still have a Kickstarter up, but Unbeatable. I don't know if you've seen this game. This game looks phenomenal. Like it's such a good concept, and the art is so fantastic, and the music is really good. Like everything about that game is like this is like feeding to everything I like. It has rhythm elements. It has like light adventure elements, gorgeous art, great music. It looks phenomenal, but I don't think that's coming out this year. I think they may have said that it's not coming out this year, but
No, I think the Kickstarter just launched recently, so I don't think it'll be out this year, but it's still up on Kickstarter. I definitely think that people should check it out.
Yeah.
It's worth it, worth backing. I think it surpassed its goal too, like less than a day, or
Yeah,
maybe a little bit over, less than a day for sure.
pretty quickly. I think there's 2 games on Kickstarter right now that are both, I think, surpassed their goal and doing really well. But Spirit Swap is the other one, which is like another game kind of feeding to my interests. Good music, good art, a nice match 3 game. So sign me up, put me on the list for both of those. I'm very, very excited. Another game that was shown off, or at least the first time that I saw it, was during the Indie World Direct, Hindsight, which is a Annapurna game that looks like kind of like cell shaded type graphics, like comic booky. It looks really gorgeous to me. I believe this, like the narrative of the game is you're just playing like through the life moments of this woman. So you're kind of just like playing from her childhood up through her adult life in these like little segments. But I don't know. I feel like I very rarely dislike an Annapurna game, and this game looked really interesting to me, so it's on my radar for sure. Definitely something I'm excited for. And then I'm just looking at my list. I have like just a running list of indie games.
Skatebird. Forget about Skatebird.
Skatebird?
I need that game in my life.
Did you play it at PAX or no?
No.
Did you play it, Mike? I thought one of us played it at PAX.
I don't think I did.
I could have sworn maybe, you know what, it might have been at the like smaller part of the indie mega booth where Emily is Away 3 was, because I remember I must have just been watching somebody play it, because I could have sworn one of us played it. I don't know. Skatebird is on your radar? I don't know. I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really looked into too much of what's coming up for indies this year, because I just haven't. I think Raptor Boyfriend, actually, part of me actually wants to really play that game too, because it takes place in the 90s, and I kind of like the animation on that and everything, but I don't know. Those are the only 2 that, minus the ones you've already mentioned, that like stand out to me.
Yeah. What about you, Mike? Anything on your radar for indies this year?
No.
Why do you hate indies so much, Mike?
Yeah.
Well, what makes you think indies would be special enough for me not to hate them? Because I hate a lot of things. I would argue I hate most things.
That's true. You do. I would agree with that. You hate most things.
Yeah. So.
Name one thing that you love, Mike.
At least one of my cats.
Okay. Which one? The one that threw up on the other one, or the other one? The one that got thrown up on?
The one that got thrown up on.
The one that got thrown up on is the one that you like?
Yeah, the other one's a dick.
Which is the one that likes to go to the bathroom on your bathroom floor? Is that the one that you love?
Yeah.
Oh, Mike threw out the love word there.
Obviously, if I'm letting her like use my shower to use the bathroom, I must at least tolerate her.
Oh. I get that.
And then if we ever get Silk Song this year, which I don't see that coming this year, but that's probably like my most anticipated. But
I still need to finish Hollow Knight. I'm not the Hollow Knight stan that everyone else is. I don't know. It's not bad.
If you step away from that game and go back to it, though, it's very confusing.
I think that's my problem. I took a extended absence from that game. When I tried to go back to it, I was like, I have no idea where I am.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and I'm like, I don't really want, because I feel like I'm halfway through the game, and I'm like, I really don't want to start this game over. I just don't have time. I'd rather just finish Ori and the Will of the Wisps, because Ori's so good. I think there was one more game that I wanted to mention, and it was Ken and the Bridge of Spirits. I think that game just looks gorgeous. I hope it still comes out this year. That would be I don't have a PS5 yet, but I feel like that would be the thing that would make me get a PS5, is that game. Similar to how Todd's very excited about Returnal.
I love that. Like, I was like been dying to play Returnal, and everyone's like, I don't know, it doesn't look like it could be. And now everyone's praising it. I'm like, yes, that's a good thing right there.
Yeah, that's.
I need that. I need that directly in my veins right now. I'm so mad that everyone gets to play that.
I'll wait for your opinion if it's too scary, because like it seems like it has a lot of scary elements, and
I don't think it. I think it'll be fine. I think it's more about like just frantic gun battles and survive. It's gonna be another one of those roguelikes that I'll be like 50 hours into it and still haven't beat it. It's gonna be. I'm sure it's gonna be super tough.
yeah.
Uh,
I just think it's funny that you're like super into roguelites all of a sudden.
I know, man. It's what got me. Oh, Dead Cells got me into roguelites.
Yeah. Phenomenal game. The last bit of stuff that I wanted to bring up before we wrapped things up today was kind of out of nowhere. Nintendo partnered with Fujifilm to make an app that works with the Switch and your phone to send your screenshots from your Switch to be printed out via I think they're called Instax printers is the name. They'll be dropping like a limited edition Pikachu covering case bundle for one, or I believe there's a couple different models that will work with the app if you don't want to buy that bundle or if you already have one. But I thought this was interesting because it's kind of like a spiritual successor to the Game Boy printer, which something I never had growing up, but I always wanted. I always thought the commercials for that were like very enticing, and I knew a lot of people that had them, but I never had one because I don't know, I just didn't have one. I didn't have disposable income as a young child, so that was at the mercy of whatever my parents or whoever were buying things for. But I kind of like the concept that they're rolling this out, and obviously you can do it with. I think you can do it with any screenshots on your Switch. It's not just for Pokemon Snap, but it's really smart of them to kind of pair this with the launch of Pokemon Snap. I don't know if anyone has any strong opinions about this kind of seemingly out of nowhere peripheral that they're dropping.
I'm not 100%. I'm buying it, but I'm not. I have zero interest. I'm just getting it for Liam. But like, I think he's gonna like love that. Like the whole idea behind that, he's gonna be obsessed with that. But I will never touch that game. I have zero interest in that game.
Yeah, well, you can do it with any screenshots. Like you could print out your Animal Crossing
Which
stuff.
is cool. Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I'll probably go to town on that. It'll probably get me back into Animal Crossing. To be honest with you.
That's cool. What about you, Morgan? Do you have any strong opinions about this either way?
Yes, I'm really looking forward to Pokemon Snap. That was one of my favorite games growing up, so I'm
I am
very
also
excited
really, yeah.
check it out and also see if Desmond is interested in it because he likes taking screenshots just on the Switch in general. Like my Switch is just full of random screenshots. It's very, and I'm really definitely planning to get that photo printer just because I think the idea is really cool. It's really cute, the little Pikachu case that you can get with the special edition, and yes, I don't know, it appeals to me. It's so cute.
Yeah, I like I like the concept of it a lot. I hope I can get the Pikachu one. I feel like that's going to be a very hard to get item, unfortunately.
I know. I'm like stressed out about it already.
Yeah, but at least like as like a consolation prize, at least it will work with other versions of just like normal Fujifilm Instax printer. So there's at least that going for it if you can't really find the Pikachu one. But it's a really cool concept, and I like the idea. I think I'll probably mostly use it for Animal Crossing. I think it'll just be fun to take little screenshots and kind of print them out, and I don't know, maybe I'll like, I don't know, make like a bulletin board type frame and like put up stuff.
Too, yeah.
I like the idea. I saw a tweet that I'm pretty sure was like super viral by the time I saw it. That was someone basically saying like, oh, think about this. This is a game changer. You could, be playing your friend in Smash, beat them, screenshot the end of the match, and literally hand them their loss right then and there. And I'm like, this is actually kind of amazing. Like, yes, like give me some crazy nonsensical reasons to print out pictures. Absolutely. I looked at the film. The film is like, unfortunately, like more expensive than my brain wants it to be. It's like a pack of 20 for, whatever. Like, I don't know how much money it was. But when I looked at like how much it broke down per picture, I was like, this is like not, maybe I won't go crazy with taking pictures and printing them out, but I'm very excited for it. Like, I don't know. I need to now think about where I'm going to put these because I would like to have like a nice little area where I can just kind of stick them up. I think bulletin board makes the most sense, and just kind of like rotate out pictures and stuff. I think in the trailer or on the website, they have like people putting them on the back of their phone. I don't know if I'd do that, but I'm loving it. I'm very excited for this. I'm sure you'll find people on Etsy that will like take pictures of stuff and then like put the they'll like make them into
characters,
amiibo.
so.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there'll be a lot of cool things to come from that. I'm excited. It's honestly going to probably make me go back and play a lot of games on my Switch that I've beaten, just because like I feel like I could probably take some really cool pictures in Breath of the Wild that I want to print out, like just little things like that.
Even like Sayonara Wild Hearts too.
Oh my god, I didn't even think about that.
Of,
Yeah. Crap. I'm going to spend a lot of money on film for this thing. I'm going to have a lot of dumb pictures everywhere. I'm going to end up getting like a photo album. Like I'm going to have a photo album.
it's a good idea. I mean, I don't think that's a bad idea.
No, it's not. Crap. I'm going to spend so much money on this. I'm just now, I'm in real time realizing how much money I'm going to spend on this. Because at first I was like, oh, it'll be cool. Like I'll print out some stuff and I'll have a little bunch of them. But now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, no, I'm going down a rabbit hole right here. Does this do anything for you, Mike? Are you excited about this?
Not really.
Jesse in the chat just said Brenden about to have wallet sizes of his Animal Crossing children. I mean, I'll at least have one picture of me with each of my villagers, plus just standalone shots of my villagers, because why not? Damn it, I'm really going to have like a full photo album of just Animal Crossing. I'm going to end up having to have like a separate bookshelf in here that's like, here's my photo album of Animal Crossing, and here's my photo album of Breath of the Wild, and Sayonara Wild Hearts, and oh, I really like the Messenger.
We don't even have family photo albums. We just have like
I have like no real physical pictures just because I don't. The thing that I love about this is that I never had a Game Boy printer, and I never had access to like doing this at Blockbuster when the original Pokemon Snap came out, because you had the ability to print out your pictures then at a local Blockbuster. So like having this ability now as an adult with disposable income, I'm living my childhood dream right now, and I'm going to be printing out a lot of things. I might even just figure out a way to, I don't know if this is a setting on there, or I don't even know if it's a setting in the Switch screenshots, but I'm going to make everything like black and white and sepia tone, and have like, have some artsy ones.
Buying this for Liam, and he's not even going to get to use it. I'm like,
yeah,
get away. Right?
You're going to go through a lot. You got to be careful with him using it. You're going to go through a lot of film.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, I bought Amanda one of those cameras a long time ago. It was like it basically comes out the same way. It's like a little box camera. They're nothing special, but they take like those pictures, and I remember we went through the film pretty quickly.
Are they like good quality Polaroids? Like, are they good pictures? Yeah,
they're not bad. I feel like it depends. Like some of them came out really good, some of them came out a little iffy. It really depends. I don't know if that camera is the same one as some of the ones that are some of the other printers, though. It could be different, so I don't really know.
This is actually a really funny thing to me. Sapphire Jade in the chat said, imagine future generation pulling out fucking pictures like, what is this shit? And it's like, you go, oh, this is a 30-year-old video game that I have a photo album of. Like, that's going to be like, right. It's going to be like a storage bin in my basement, and some, like, I don't know, my nephew, when he's like 27, is going to be like going through my stuff looking for old video games or something, and he's going to pull this out thinking it's like pictures of me or something. And no, it's just a photo of, like, I have physical pictures of Navi, my cat, and I'm going to have physical pictures of like my Animal Crossing children. That is who I am as a person. I have a problem. Anyways, I think that brings us to the end of this episode. Unless there was anything else that you wanted to mention about indies or Pokemon Camera or Pokemon Snap, Morgan, otherwise.
Yeah, I guess I would just mention there's a lot of interviews that I've been doing on Prima with indies. I forgot one I needed to mention, which is Undying. I think that one's coming out this year, and that one's like a zombie adventure game that's probably going to also make me cry. I love it. Love games that make me cry. Lots of indie interviews, and then Jesse and Lucas have also been doing like a lot of really great features there as well. So
nice. Well, yeah, let's take this time as we wrap things up for you to plug anything you want to plug all your social stuff, or Prima stuff, whatever you want to throw out there into the ether. Take the time now to plug all the things.
Yeah, I mean, primagames.com, lots of cool stuff on there. Lots of indie interviews, probably more indie interviews coming. I just have a batch of them that I need to get through. And Tetris, Tetris on Twitter. So weird things that I post there.
I feel like outside of like the big cheeses of the world and other like Tetris centric people that I follow, I feel like I see a lot of your Tetris posts get scooped up by a lot of other gaming people. So I feel like you're doing really good work over there. You're putting out smart things, which is great to see.
Thank you. That makes me really happy. Tetris is going to have something announced, I think, in June that's going to be kind of strange and interesting. So that's something to look out for as well. I can't talk about it, but it's an interesting collaboration for sure that I think people aren't going to be expecting. Like even more strange, I feel like, than the Tetris makeup that they had done. This is even weirder, but it's yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So if you love Tetris and you want to see something weird, around June time is when we start promoting it. So
Awesome.
it's my little teaser.
Love it. Do you have anything specific coming up on Prima, or that you just put up on Prima, other than things you've already mentioned that you want to promote? Or
I mean, I just recently did an interview with the Dark Side Detective team. That one's up. Another one with the Undying, like a composer for Undying. I've done so many interviews, but they're all really, really good. I feel like the answers that they give me back are just really informative and give me like a better idea of all these interesting, unique games. I love doing interviews. Yeah, I feel like hard to say because it's like it changes all the time of like what I'm planning to do during the week.
Of course, yeah.
Oh, but I mean, there'll be indie coverage in general for the rest of the year. So
Love it. Love to see it.
always.
And all of you, is it every Friday that you do the Prima kind of weekly wrap up stream where the three of you sit down and chat about what's been going on?
Every Friday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern time at twitch.tv/Prima Games.
Hell yeah. So definitely check that stuff out. But I do want to just take the time right now to say, like, again, thank you again so much, Morgan, for joining us. It's been a very big pleasure of mine having you on. I'm sure Todd and Mike share those opinions, even though Mike's got devil horns on right now, or some sort of demon horns. But yeah, this is definitely not the last time that we'll see you on the show and other things, I'm sure. There's definitely some PAX panels coming up now that PAX East is turned into another PAX Online of sorts. So I'm sure we'll have some interesting things to share soon. I would be, yeah, I won't say anything else. But there's definitely some other things cooking in the background that I'm sure will get you involved in. That will be a good time. As always, you can find all of our stuff at passthecontroller.io. You can find me at BeGroom. You can find Todd at Toddy_by_nature. And you can find Mike at _Mycopath. And again, thank you all so much for listening to this week's episode 255. And thank you again, Morgan, for joining us on this episode.